to episode 2 of Comics and Outs. I'm TJ.
And I'm Chris.
And I'm Lumpy.
And it's the review show that reviews comics chronologically. Kind of. Alright, so we're still covering Detective Comics. The first episode was obviously number 1, but we're skipping ahead to Detective Comics 27 because 2 through 26, no thanks.
Agreed.
To say the least.
After 1, I was done with that. I couldn't do that anymore.
Our goal was to get to Batman anyway. We weren't even going to do all the Detective Comics to start with. We're not even going to do the Detective Comics in full. We're only going to do the Batman story, so.
Yeah, no, we're only covering Batman. We didn't realize that they were anthology comics when we decided to do this, and that there were 60 pages per comic. We would be here forever trying to cover everything and be 7 months before we even got to Batman.
Right.
So.
Yeah, it took us an hour to do the first one, and there was barely anything in it.
And we kind of blew through the first one, and it took us an hour.
And it still took an hour.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we're skipping ahead to Detective Comics number 27, which has the first Batman comic in it. I guess we'll cover the cover of the comics, too, because they sometimes have Batman on it.
This one.
As far as I can tell, the Detective Comics from here on out all have Batman on them.
No, not all of them.
Not all of them? I couldn't tell. The ones I went through seem to have him a lot, so.
They do have him a lot, but they're not all of them. Some of them are really weird. But
okay.
This one is Batman chokeholding some guy, and he seems to be swinging from nothing because the rooftops are below him. I don't know what he's swinging from.
Yeah, maybe a light post that's really high. I don't know.
He's Batman. He can do what he wants to.
I guess so.
May 1939 is the start of this one.
Starting this issue, the amazing and unique adventures of the Batman.
Yeah, I didn't realize they called him the Batman from the beginning.
Yeah. But Batman was created by Bob Kane and Bill Finger. Does anyone know the history behind that?
No.
I didn't think so. So, Bob Kane was the one credited with Batman for a long time, and they didn't give Bill Finger credit for the longest time. He didn't start getting credit for Batman until about 2015 when his family finally got him some appreciation. So he's been, it's kind of a big comics history that he's been snubbed for so long. But it was only in recent years that Bill Finger, who was the writer on a lot of these early Batman ones, really got credit for Batman.
So what did Bob Kane do?
Bob Kane kind of came up with the concept of Batman, who he was, what the design was, even though Bill Finger redesigned Batman to make him look how he is in the comics. But Bob Kane actually, I think, came up with the actual concept of Batman. Yeah.
Did not know that.
We're not... I wanted to cover that because it's kind of mandatory, but we're not here to cover comics histories in that point. But I figured it should be at least mentioned.
Yeah,
we're going to cover Batman, so it's worth mentioning.
Right.
But we're going to be focusing on the stories pretty much. So
yes.
This first one is The Batman, The Case of the Chemical Syndicate is the name of the whole thing. It's 7 pages, and alright. And the premise is Commissioner Gordon invites Bruce Wayne to a crime scene. That's what I got out of it.
Well, I mean, it starts out, Commissioner Gordon and Bruce Wayne apparently are buddies, right? They're just sitting there having a conversation, right?
They're having a conversation, and then Commissioner Gordon gets a phone call, and there's been a murder, and then invites Bruce Wayne to a crime scene.
Yeah.
Yeah, he tells him, come with me, I gotta go to this thing. And they were really just hanging out in his house.
You know what's weird to me? They're hanging out, and Gordon mentions Batman already.
Yeah.
Yes.
Like something had already happened that we didn't see before Batman number 1.
Yeah, so apparently the Batman's been a vigilante for some time at this point.
Yeah.
So I don't know why they started in the middle of his career, but then again, every Detective Comics that we've read, they were all in the middle of their career.
It was like you should have already known these people. We read Detective Comics number 1, and they jumped right into stories like we should have known already. So
exactly.
Yeah, how do you not know this guy?
Right.
Yeah, so these are all established detectives, essentially.
So Bruce Wayne's just a socialite, is Gordon's friend. But Gordon takes him along to the crime scene?
That's my point. That was what I was getting at.
It's strange.
He's like, just come along to this murder scene.
Yeah, let's go see who got killed.
Yeah.
Dude, I listen to a lot of true crime stuff, and in the 30s, they did that.
You know what? It doesn't sound that far-fetched now that you said it's the 30s.
It's insane in the 30s, the things that really happen with, detectives and policing and things. It's actually really wild when you actually see what was actually okay. And it wasn't, Nobody looked at anything differently when people like that just kind of showed up. You were with the
I
commissioner.
brought my friend.
Yeah,
It's weird.
it's weird to us now, but back then it was okay. These were upstanding people in the community. So
Yeah, I guess they're immune to crime.
correct.
So they're called to this murder scene where this old rich guy's been stabbed, and they think his son did it. But I mean, in your guys' version, does it start over again? The comic does, like, after the first page of the Batman, on the second page, does it say the Batman again? And it's redoing the scene with Bruce Wayne and Commissioner Gordon?
No.
No.
No, that's only on that thing because I remember that happening when I read it on there the first time.
You got some kind of defect in your website you're using?
No, because the first page does it, but then they show it, they restart the comic essentially, but it's from a different point of view, the scenes. It's weird.
So
Really?
I think on that, with the one that you're reading, they're showing the original and then they're showing the remastered.
Well, the story was reprinted twice. It was reprinted in Detective Comics number 387 and Detective Comics number 627. So you may have one of those volumes.
And, no, this is because it's the original.
It's the original?
Yeah. And it was also reprinted recently in Detective Comics number 1000, where they updated it to a recent Batman story.
Oh, wow.
Yeah.
Well, you know how they're showing, if you look on the one you're looking at, do they show two different comic covers?
No.
Oh, they don't on that one.
No. It says, when it goes down, and the first page, it says The Batman, the crime. Like, you start the first story, and then you go down, and it says, to the second page, it says The Batman, and it repeats the first page, except for a few panels are different.
I know. I remember seeing that when I read it on that one, so I'm not sure.
Yeah, so I just thought it was weird.
Yeah, that's odd.
I don't know if it was in everybody's thing, but...
It's not in the remastered one that I'm reading, but it was on the original one that I read, just like that.
Alright. So anyway, he's invited... Bruce Wayne goes to a murder scene where his son's being blamed, and...
The son looks really old to be the son of that guy who got murdered.
Yeah, I can see that they tried to make him look young by giving him, like, blonde hair, but the drawing does make him look old. He's almost wrinkly.
Yeah.
I don't know, maybe he just aged prematurely.
People don't live that long in the 30s, so.
They didn't.
So they're investigating this crime scene, and apparently some documents were taken.
Well, the dead guy flips over and says contract a couple times. So.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
And then they get a phone call from one of the dead man's business partners who they thought was one of the suspects, and he got a note being threatened about being killed. And then I don't know what happens next. What happens next?
Well, then it kind of cuts over to another guy. It cuts over to a guy.
The guy who's
Bruce Wayne says he has to leave. Right. Bruce Wayne says he has to leave, and then they cut over to the guy who was on the call, and there's a guy in his house trying to kill him. And he kills him.
Correct.
He gets killed? Oh, he does get killed.
Yeah, he gets killed too.
Yes.
Oh, I didn't even see that.
So the two partners are dead.
Right.
And there's one left.
There's one partner left.
I think there's two partners left.
No, there's only one.
No, he's right. There's two partners left.
Yeah.
There is?
Yeah.
Yes.
And you'll find out later.
Yes.
I know why I got that confused.
Yeah.
Well, okay. There's two partners left. You're absolutely right.
Yes.
And then...
So the guys who killed a guy, they try to escape out the window, and they bump into a scary guy on the roof.
he's wearing a Halloween costume, huh?
Yeah, there's a guy with a Halloween costume. I don't know. This Batman has really short ears.
Yeah, his ears get longer as they go, though.
Yeah. Oh, you're right. They do get longer as the comic book goes along too.
Yeah, the drawing almost evolves as it gets towards the end.
In this comic book, it kind of evolves.
Yes.
Yeah. Does Batman kill that guy right off the bat? Throws him right off the roof?
Right off the roof.
I don't know, but I was keeping a tally of death counts that I know for a fact he did kill, and I didn't realize he killed him, if he's dead or not, because that doesn't look like too far of a fall.
But they're on the roof, and it says he sends the burly criminal flying through space.
Yeah,
but it's only like a 3-story house. You're right. It's only like a 2-story house.
But it also says he grabs him in a deadly headlock.
Yeah.
Oh.
So does he kill him with the headlock and then throw him off the roof?
I don't think so. I think they're both alive still.
No. At the end, towards the end, they mentioned that the other one is dead. The one who was thrown off the roof is dead.
Okay. So that's death count number 1 then. I'm one behind in my death count.
Well, don't worry, because you're going to be up there because he's brutal. Batman is brutal in these beginning comic books.
Oh, I know.
Yeah.
No, but what I found funny though, after he kills these two guys, right? He drives in his red Batmobile away.
The red Batmobile is making me angry, and it gets worse and worse. Yes, a bright red car is where you're going to hide in. You're gonna chase people around in a bright red car. Nobody's ever going to notice.
Dressed as a bat.
Yeah.
People are noticing. I just don't know how that it's Bruce Wayne's car. Oh, I'm sorry, we don't know it's Bruce Wayne yet.
No, we don't know. Well, whoa, spoilers! My God, we're gonna have to cut this out of here.
The comic does think we're idiots. That's for sure.
Yes.
Because
apparently everybody is, because all Bruce Wayne has to say is, "I gotta go," and then he can do whatever he wants after that.
That's
magically he's gone, but Batman is now working.
Right.
That I can suspend that because that's just comic books, but the actual when you're insulting the actual reader by the reveal at the end, oh, Bruce Wayne is
again spoilers. Maybe people don't know that they're listening.
You disclaimer: you should read the comic before you listen to this.
Yeah, you should. So what happens now is the two partners meet up, right? Isn't that what the next thing is?
Right.
Yes.
So the two remaining partners, the one partner wants the other partner to meet him at his home.
Right.
Because they're afraid they're both being targeted. He doesn't know that the second partner is about to kill him.
Right. So the green partner hits him with a blackjack, right? Is that what he does?
Yes. And ties him up and has a silly super villain plan.
Wow, I can't believe that they have these super villain plans. Like, this is where it started. This is the beginning of the slow-moving super villain plan, right?
I'm going to put you in this gas chamber and then leave and not find out.
I'm going to sit you under this gas chamber, but I got to go in the basement to turn the gas on.
What I find even funny is that this is just a normal guy who built this in his house somehow.
True. This is true.
This is not like some crazy supervillain guy with superpowers. This guy's he wants the sole owner of his contract by killing off his partners. This is just a business guy, and he built this elaborate shop.
He built a supervillain gas chamber, but he couldn't build it where the gas valve was right next to the gas chamber. He had to go down in a trap door to get the gas chamber turned on.
No, it's even funnier is you're right, because it's not like he needed to lure him down. He already knocked his victim out by this time.
Right. He's got him tied up.
He's tied up. He can just drag him down there.
Right, exactly. So he goes in the basement, and that's when Batman comes in.
But better yet, why doesn't he just take a knife at that point when he's knocked out or something, or a gun or something?
Bro, he's going to kill the guy anyway. What the hell does it matter which way he kills him? You're right. Maybe he likes to watch people die in a gas chamber. He's some kind of weirdo freak.
But he doesn't show back up. Batman shows up, he grabs a wrench, goes inside, and breaks the glass before it can thing, but the bad guy doesn't show back up.
Yeah, and you know what's weird? He grabs the wrench and goes in there. I thought he was going to try to shut the gas off from inside with the wrench. Instead, he breaks the glass with the wrench and gets out.
Right. After he stuffs a rag in the hole where the gas is, because apparently that's some detective work you need to do there to figure that part out. So Batman saves the guy, and then the villain shows back up, and Batman
beats the crap out of him.
But he somehow escapes, and then Batman punches him off of a ledge into a vat of acid.
Wait, he escapes and changes his clothes?
Yeah, but
Wait, no. Oh, okay. Wait a minute. Meanwhile, sure. Oh, okay.
But doesn't it look like they're in a house or something?
Yes.
So how's there a vat of acid just in a walkway in this place? Did I miss something? Are they at the chemical plant?
Well, for one, we had it wrong. It wasn't the partner. It wasn't the two partners that met up. It was the guy that the other partner hired to kill him that had the gas chamber. Because after that, the partner shows up in a blue suit.
You're right.
Yeah.
The green suit is a guy who works for him.
The green suit's a guy who was hired to kill him. And I guess if you're hired to kill somebody, you got to make it look good. So you got to put some money into it and make a gas chamber and stuff.
Well,
that's probably why.
This is the story of the chemical syndicate.
Right.
That is what these guys are. The case of the chemical syndicate.
Okay, so yes, they're probably in a chemical plant at this point then.
So I find it funny that this guy has the origin story of the Joker.
Yeah, he gets thrown into a vat of chemicals, but I mean, the Joker at least gets to live. This guy just dies.
Yeah, I know. So this is death number 2 on Batman's head.
yeah. This guy just crooks.
He he literally punches him into a vat of acid. It's pretty messed up.
It doesn't feel like he did it like, I punched him and he fell in. It feels like I'm going to punch this guy into this vat of acid and kill him. That's what it feels like. Like he meant to do it. It wasn't. It wasn't an accident.
Early Batman is ruthless. That's his backstory.
1930s Batman don't play around. Like you mess around, Batman kills you. That's it.
Right? He's not tying you up to get locked up. You're gonna die.
I mean, he may, but I mean, if you're giving him a hard time, he's just going to kill you.
I mean, like he got the contract and was willing to take him in, but the old guy decided to fight back, I guess, and that's it.
Yeah, don't fight back. Yeah, that's I see it. And you know what Batman says? A fitting ending for his kind. But Batman doesn't give a crap that he killed that guy. Yeah,
I'm looking through.
The guy goes to thank him, and he's gone.
Well, you know where that started. I guess that started right here.
Right. This is a lot of beginnings right here. I mean, I know it's Batman number 1. It should be, but I mean, not Batman number 1, but the start of Batman. So.
Yeah, I know, but it's surprising how much of it is actually in the first comic, because a lot of that stuff usually gets developed. Like the utility belt's not in this first episode.
The utility belt's not mentioned, but he is wearing that yellow belt.
It's weird. He is, and it's strange because I thought that he wasn't early on, but he is. All through the comic, he has it on.
Yes, he is wearing that yellow belt.
And then it ends with Bruce Wayne talking to the commissioner. The commissioner is like, "Oh, that silly kid, Bruce Wayne." And then the comic insults you by saying, "But back at Bruce Wayne Manor, Batman is Bruce Wayne."
My notes have, and Bruce Wayne is Batman with an exclamation point at the end. Because I hate to tell you this, but even people who read it the first time knew Bruce Wayne was Batman from the beginning.
You know what? Back when he's fighting, I know the reason why he decided that he was going to fight Batman because he wasn't going to get the electric chair because of death penalty.
Oh, is that what it was?
Yeah, I have that as a note, I realized. So the death penalty shows up a lot in these early comics, too.
Yeah, there are a lot of them are worried about the death penalty, you're right.
Yeah, because he says, "Sure, I did it, but you won't send me to the chair for it." And then...
Yeah, and then you... So, the characters in this episode, in this issue, were Bruce Wayne as Batman for his first appearance, Commissioner Gordon's first appearance, and then we had single appearances by Alfred Stryker, Jennings, Lambert Jr., Paul Rogers, and Stephen Crane. They're all the characters in this issue.
I looked at that too, and I thought Stephen Crane was a character, but no, it was Scarecrow's name's Crane too, but he's got a different first name.
Ah, yeah. Well, maybe they're related.
Maybe
grandson,
possibly.
Did you look up the other stories that were going to be in that we would have done if we did the whole Detective Comics?
I looked through them, but Speed Saunders makes a return.
Yeah, Speed Saunders. There's somebody named the Crimson Avenger.
Crimson Avenger is actually notable, apparently, but I didn't look up any information about it. Because there's a list of first appearances in Detective Comics, and all these goons and stuff don't really have appearances names, but the Crimson Avenger, and all the detectives, like Speed Saunders, are in that list, but the Crimson Avenger, for some reason, is put in there.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, I don't know why.
A lot of them must have running stories, because Buck Marshall, Range Detective, was in there, too.
Right.
Slam Bradley was in there.
I think Slam Bradley's in all of them up to a point.
I feel like Slam Bradley was their main guy until Batman showed up.
Yeah, because all the other spy, Bart Regan, I think his name is, was the other Superman creator's guide, and he's in it too.
Oh, okay. And then the mysterious Dr. Fu Manchu apparently was in number 27.
Yeah.
We covered enough of that in the last episode.
Yes.
But, yeah.
But the mysterious Fu Manchu is a superhero.
Is he really?
Yes.
Huh. I didn't know that.
Yeah. He's got the Fu Manchu mustache, and he's Asian, and so, he's a
Well, they all had that mustache in the 30s, apparently, in these comic books.
Of course.
Yeah.
And then, of course, there's, the comedy strips, and they're still in there, and then that Cosmo, the Phantom of the Skies, is still in there.
Right, I saw Cosmo was in there.
They're all still going on.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't look into any of that. In mine, I only have the Batman story.
Yeah, so they're still all there, But like I said, we're not covering them because they're terrible.
No, I just thought, maybe mention them while we were here. But yeah, no way.
No, it's fine.
I honestly didn't think they were all terrible, but I didn't think they were worth, once you get to Batman, it's like, oh, wow. No wonder he's the breakout,
Right. Well, it's funny because I think it's at the end of the last page, and at least the version I'm reading, at the next story called 10-Day Tenderfoot is the next story in the Deccan Comics, but at the top it says, the thrill of adventures of Superman appear each and every month in Action Comics.
Really?
So Superman must have been out by the time, and I think Batman was created because they wanted more superheroes like Superman and stuff, because Superman was such a success.
As I'm moving on, I realized that my first statement almost in this episode was wrong, because the next comic cover doesn't have it mentions Batman, but he's not on there. Yeah. Well, we'll save that, but,
Yeah. All right, so, these episodes are going to be shorter because we're doing one Batman comic at a time. Yeah, we're at 23 minutes right now. So I guess we can wrap this up. So what do you guys think of the first issue?
Compared to what we were reading, it's a huge difference, and was much easier to read, much easier to follow.
I was so excited when I started reading that I actually had something that I could read. I texted you guys right afterwards. I'm like,
yeah, these are different.
This is way different, and no wonder it was a success, because it blows everything else out of the water. Comparable to that stuff, it doesn't compare. It's incredible.
Yeah, I text you guys off screen. No matter how bad DC Comics get, Batman is always good for some reason.
Right.
Yes, I agree. This was really good. I'm
sure we're going to come up against some stinkers, because I know Batman and Robin and the Golden and Silver Age gets real goofy at points.
Good. I hope so.
I hope so too.
But I think it's in the Silver Ages. We got to get out of these early years.
Yes.
After brutal Batman.
I will say, this first comic was a success to me. I thought it was really, really well done. It's short, but it was really well done.
Yeah, it's only 7 pages. But you can tell even in the third issue where Batman shows up, I think it's 29, his stories get longer and longer and longer.
Yeah, he's starting to take over a little bit.
Yeah. All right.
Awesome.
That's it for this episode. Got anything you want to push, Uncle Chris? I know Lumpy doesn't have anything.
No, I pushed a little in the last one. I'll skip around. I'll do it every couple episodes.
All right. Yeah, because we don't have anything set up. This is all pre-recorded, so eventually we'll record something to put on at the end or something.
Yeah, tag in.
I don't know. You want me to tell a Batman joke at the end every time?
Do you have a Batman joke?
I have one right now.
All right.
Go.
What do you call it when Batman skips church?
What?
A Christian Bale.
Oh, God. Bye.
Bye.
See ya.
TJ here from Comics and Us, just here to plug the social media. Check us out on Twitter. Our handle is @EveryTNUs, because someone took everything and us, but the name of the Twitter page is Everything and Us Podcast, and then the handle is @EveryTNUs. You can also check us out on Instagram, which is also Everything and Us. These all encapsulate all the podcasts that I do, but you're going to find all your updates for Comics and Us, Anime and Us, so forth and so forth. You can also contact us right now at everythinganduspodcasts@gmail.com. Still working on the website. And until then, that's where you can get a hold of us. That's all. Thanks for listening. Talk to you later. Bye. Hello, TJ here from Everything and Us. I just want to do a quick shout out to the people who wrote the opening and outro of the song. It is by Magnus Moon, and the song is called Ecliptic. It's royalty-free music from Tribe of Noise. I didn't have to credit them, but I figured they wrote it, they should get some kind of credit for it. Anyway, that's all I wanted to put that. Thanks. Talk to you later. Bye. TJ here from Anime and Us again. Sorry, we pre-record a lot of these episodes ahead of time, And as we went on, we got other people helping us. So here's another credit. Lillian Fields is the person who designed our Comics and Us logo. So, yeah, just wanted to give her credit there for that and so forth. Thanks for listening or watching, depending on where you're hearing this. Bye.